I've got a few patterns on the trend chart. Primarily, I'm addressing uh, bottom of cycle patterns and how they respond. In this case, specifically in the trend red. I've got 5 different lines here that I'm going to be looking at. The first red vertical line, has well, first off, each of the lines is in a bottom of cycle pattern. Each line marks a bottom of cycle pattern. The red line is up slightly. And in the vertical red line, the red line is not only in a BOC pattern, it is also above the trend green. And so that indicates a stronger trend when that occurs. As long as you got conditions that go along with that. And basically I say that because the green line is also a bottom of cycle. Both of them are bottom of cycle higher patterns, but the green line runs into, if I expand this a little bit, the green line, the trend green runs into the blue, the trend red runs into the pink, and the trend gray is real close to the zero. And also on the green line, you are in a classic red peak, which says next day down. And I'm trying to show you what typically happens when trend red is in a BOC pattern, because the pink line and the blue line are typical conditions, and by that I mean trend red typically is in a BOC pattern, but it stays under the green line. And so when it does a BOC pattern and it crosses the green line at the same time, that's greater market strength or power or indication that something stronger is coming. Now, you can see that in the red line because you've had the yellow, zip yellow at the bottom, and in fact zip yellow is in a nice W pattern with a low angle up the day before. And on this red vertical line day, we have a crossover green. That when red's above green, that is a uptrend continuation pattern, and so we would say we're continuing in an uptrend. All the lines are up as well, and I'll point out that swing gray is in a low angle down pattern. You can see that when I expand it a little bit. Swing gray is in a low angle down pattern. And I think the trend trio lines are in low angle down pattern. You don't often see that. That occurred over here as well, and next day was a green candle. And so we have, in this particular case on the red vertical line, we have a really nice, looks like 5-day uptrend. That is not the case on the green line because of the conditions that we ran into on the green line day with the red peak, and power Zion went over the top of zero and then it came back down. We got pink, swing pink in a uptouch of the zero line. It looks like it would also qualify as an uptouch to the swing red line. And so the green line goes back down the next day. In fact, it gaps down quite easily. Ends up the day after the green vertical line is a green candle, but it gapped down significantly. So and that's due, in my mind, exclusively to the trend red and green uptouches. You have 3 uptouches all in the same time, at the same time. And of course, trend red is uptouching pink, and trend pink is the best line to uptouch. I think it's because the pink line is the center point of the, how do I say this? I'll just call it the center point of the equilibrium of the line. And when it up touches or down touches that equilibrium line, you get your greatest response. And probably overall, when trend green down touches trend pink, that is probably the most responsive reversal out there. When green touches pink one way or the other. But obviously you can see when trend red touches trend pink, it also is a strong reversal pattern. Up touches are reversal patterns price down, and down touches are reversal patterns price up. So that green line, it's real obvious to see, and it's interesting too that zip green is at 0 with a green candle. And oftentimes when you have that, it just substantiates a continuation of a downtrend, because you know there's not a lot of people entering the market, and so you ask yourself, well, why a green candle then? Well, in all likelihood, you'd have to go back and check it, but in all likelihood, at the end of the day, it was driven back up for whatever reason. And maybe it was other people seeing other indications, because the day before the green candle, we got a low angle up pattern, a low angle down pattern, which is almost automatically a green candle next day. So it gapped up and went down and went up, but and by the end of the day, you've got those conditions. Your trend BOC pattern, and it's a higher pattern, which is normally down. And I might add too, when you get that's a good example to point out, or a good situation to point this out. You've got in the red line, you've got a bottom of cycle higher pattern that crosses over green and it goes up. And you've got, on the green line, you've got a bottom of cycle higher pattern and it goes down. Both of the red lines are above the green line. The spring reaction is what I'm trying to address here. When they go up, they go up more. When they go down more. Both of these, after the red line and the green line, both of them gapped. And so that spring reaction, or that reversal reaction, is strong in I think it's a result of the BOC higher pattern. Now, in the blue line, we have a standard BOC pattern. It's a lower pattern, but it's typically the start of an uptrend. The red is under the green, but in this case here, it doesn't mark a strong up pattern indication or next day up indication. It only identifies a possibility of a uptrend, of a next day up. And we do have power pink at the bottom, so that in all indications there, power pink would be telling us that we're at the bottom of a cycle and we're going to go up. And in fact, it does notch up. It gaps up a little bit, but we got a red doji candle the day after this blue line. One of the key issues that you need to look at is in your swing gray. It has been on a peak about 7-8 days ago, and it's coming down and going down. It's hard to move the gray line. You also have both the twin yellow lines, zip yellow and power yellow, going down. And even though you have a trend red in a BOC pattern under green, that doesn't mean that the movement is going to be quick. And in fact, in this case, we got 5-6 days of congestion. So the blue line is clearly one that I would not look at entering into, and I think the reasons are obvious. The pink line has again a red bottom of cycle pattern, or we might say a red low angle up at the same time. And on the pink line, the trend red is at minus 28. So yesterday, you know, minus 30 or whatever, it qualifies in that minus 25 range as to an uptrend. And here's an example here. If you can see it on the pink line, I'll move the line over one. Yesterday, from where the pink line is right now, we had a zip green stick its nose underneath the low zip yellow line. And that's, I don't know why there's a reaction to go back in the other way, but it does that. That pattern exists in a lot of situations with Zip Zion and with many others. But in any case, we got a when Zip green is lowest, it's in a position to go up. Now in this case here, Zip green is at 0 and Zip pink is at 19 and Zip yellow is at 8. Zip blue is at 25. The only, in the order, you got green, yellow, pink. When Zip yellow is lowest, it's a good indication, you know, of movement. But obviously, we have 3-4 days of congestion in this area as well. Excuse me, I moved over to the yellow line. The yellow line has 3 or 4 days of congestion. On the pink line, we do not have the congestion. We have the, and I'll point it out down here, we have swing gray. I can expand this enough. We have swing gray in a low angle down again, and in this case we have one of the better uptrends of all the uptrends, and we had a low angle up that was red, trend red, low angle up, or a bottom of cycle pattern under green. So it didn't start out real strong, and in fact we had a green doji candle, but 8-9 days later it's dynamite. And so the bottom of the cycle trend red starts the uptrend, but does not necessarily indicate it's going to be weak or strong. You're not going to see that right away. Your trend yellow is separated from your other, I said that wrong, your power yellow is separated from your other lines significantly lower, and in fact it's on a third drop down. You might say you're on a triple bottom scenario, and that's part of what again, in my opinion, we can see it in the trend, in the swing gray, we can see it in the power yellow, and it's not as visible in some of the other patterns. You might say it's in the trend red, but it's really not. It would be tough to pick that up without the other charts. So that's the pink line. Sorry about going over to the yellow line. The yellow line again has a bottom of cycle trend red pattern under green. As you know, this whole video is on that aspect of how to look at trend red bottom of cycle patterns. This one here has swing gray and green down. You have the pink, power pink in a notch up, and it's lowest. So you could, you know, say, well, it's going to continue going up. But you do have your swing gray, which is over 0 and going down, and it's been on a peak about 3-4 days ago. We also have a significant gap in this situation, and I've indicated in many places in the videos that you just don't trade after gaps. They just, and this is a classic example, and this is Netflix. Okay, we're in Netflix, and that, I mean, not that that makes any difference. They all work the same, but it's crazy how some people think you have to be in a good stock, or what some would interpret as a good stock, to make things work, and they work in any chart. And like in this example, you got trend red that continues over trend green the next couple of days on the power yellow line, on the vertical yellow line. But the price is going down. I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it? But the swing gray is the deep cycle, and that'll just tell you. It just gives you great insight into what's happening. I really encourage you to, if you're not one that follows swing gray, keep it on your radar more, because it's definitely a key indicator to watch. So there's lots of different methods and ways that we can deal with patterns, and I've got to point out, here's two other ones that I drew up, and I wanted to actually three quickly. I forgot about these. I'm in AMAT, A-M-A-T. I'm in a trend red going up. It's under green, but trend green is in a significant low angle down pattern. And when it's on a super low angle, when trend green is on a super low angle and trend red is really gone up and right under it, next to it like this, that's a good indication of a nice uptrend. In this case here on the bottom, trend red was at 60.99, so almost 61. Trend green was at 26. And then on this day here, where the green vertical line is, trend red is 30 and trend green is 26. So they're coming right up close to each other. On this one over here, we got a bottlenose on the trend red the day before. That gets us to the bottom of cycle, the trend red bottom of cycle higher pattern, and it's over zero. And you've heard me say before, even in this video, when you do both at the same time, you usually get a nice uptrend. Now this one only had 2 days of nice green candles, and when I expand this, you can kind of see it better. Your zip pink was high. Said that wrong. Your zip yellow was high above, at 72.9. Your green and your power green and power orange are actually going down, and they in a couple of days turn back up. But this is actually with the red green turnover. With the trend red crossing over trend green, that's, red over green is an uptrend, and that continues here. And I personally would have gotten out on one of these, over the first or the second day, and then waited for this down spike on the 5th day after the trend red went down under zero, and that is a classic 5-day or 6-day right angle large pattern trend red pattern that indicates usually a stronger uptrend. And so this is a $26, $27 stock right now, so it's there. You can see the movement. I've got one other one here to finish up, and that is trend red crosses over green on the pink line, but look at you've got 4 or 5 days of just flat trend red, and your price chart shows everything real flat. You've got 5 or 6 candles preceding the pink vertical line that are really tiny candles, and as a result you got 5 or 6 lines after the pink line that are tiny candles. So be conscious of low angle movements. I mean, we love the 1-day low angle movement, but other angles can just throw us off. And also, in the pink line, your power red is real low, and that just when it goes up and it's still under zero, it's not a good indication. and that's that's what you have here on your pink line. So I think those are good examples and indications. Again, I kind of talked through what I look at when I'm looking for a next deal or that next opportunity. And these are the trend red in a BOC pattern happens a lot. So become familiar with it, and there'll be more videos on that. And hope you enjoy what you're looking at.